all the jobs that you could possibly have in life, why did you choose comics?
I chose comics because it's the. I mean, I've been drawing since I was a kid, so I figured, you know, if I could do something and make money out of something that I love. You know, it's basically just doing something I enjoy, and
So
so,
how did you know you were good enough for comics?
um, I what I think of other than the praises I get from my parents, I think I've gotten hints that I'm before I broke in, I was sending out samples to different companies, and I was getting pretty um, positive responses from different companies, and um, and I think that gave me just enough motivation to keep going. So maybe I got hints that you know I think I have something that you know.
Especially when you were sending fan art to Wizard and they were publishing it.
That was a huge um, inspiration for me. And then also I sent out samples to Dark Horse and Wildstorm. There was this editor before who I corresponded with, and yeah, and yeah, I was really excited back then. And my parents were very supportive. They were actually paying for my FedEx packages, and they were really just, you know, they were there for me. So that was a huge help too.
And you were a very huge comic book fan.
Yeah.
I still remember you're collecting all kinds of comic books and variant editions, and so you're very much a comic book geek.
Yeah, I was. I collected all the variant. I was also a huge Will Sportasio fan before I was under him, and I was collecting all these variant covers for Wildstorm. And I was getting actually duplicate copies of each issue, and I was just a crazy fanboy. I was really when every time when I get a variant copy, I would be like almost trembling in excitement. As I can't even put the comic book into the sleeve because I was just so excited, and my friend was laughing at me for being so
Geeky.
Yeah, actually geeky. So well, right now it gives me it helps me understand how other fans feel, and you know I'm more accommodating because I know how to be a really rabid fan. I still am actually, but
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you next. Do you still consider yourself as a fan of comics?
I have to admit not as much as before because just well it's you know like the old adage that if you're working in a chocolate factory, you're not gonna be excited, you know, in having your next chocolate truffle. But I'm still very excited, you know, with reading new trade paperbacks. I now wait for the complete issues instead of the individual issues.
And I remember once we were talking on the phone, and we were talking about Wizard, the magazine, and we would read it from cover to cover.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah, I was crazy about the magazine, and it's really bizarre to be in it, and well, it's weird because right now I'm not really reading that much Wizard because I think I'm nervous of what it would say or what it won't say about me. I don't it's kind of weird because I don't know. I guess I'm just I don't even go to comic book websites anymore because I think I'm better off not knowing what's being said or what's not or if I'm being talked about or not talked about. So I'd rather I don't know, just
Yeah, but Wizard Magazine names you as 2008's Arts of the Year.
Yeah, I was very surprised actually,
Yeah.
and I was very surprised. And I think that's the best thing that happened. The best accolade I've ever received in my whole career. So this is
Yeah, you went from a fan sending fan art to the magazine, and several years later, you're there 2008's Arts of the Year. It's
yeah,
I suppose it can get kind of mind-boggling.
yeah, it is. It's very yeah. I never thought that I never thought that I'd be in the in this kind of spotlight and doing doing Marvel's biggest book in 2008, and all these things are just things that are beyond my imagination a few years ago.
Editors are very impressed that you're almost an exception to a lot of other hot artists in that you actually are able to turn in your work on time, and yet y- your work is full of detail and full of how do you explain that?
I'm not really sure. I think in the Philippines, we're able to get household help and and all that stuff. So I guess we have it easier here a little bit compared to them. They have to do all their chores probably.
No, I've actually seen you work, and you draw very fast.
Uh-huh.
No, I suppose you draw faster. I think. Do you think if you were able to find a way of drawing that allows you to draw faster?
Oh, that's very interesting.
Like the thumbnail thing you do, blowing up
Yeah, it
thumbnails.
helped a lot actually. But I only developed that since New Avengers number 30. Yeah, so unless you've seen a huge jump in my productivity since then, that might not account for for everything. Though I guess I just don't leave my table that much. I mean, I just just make sure that I really spend a lot of time, I guess, and maybe not having much of a social life probably is probably the main thing. I guess I just spend a lot of time drawing, I guess.
Can you take us through the process of penciling a page?
Basically, I receive plots. It's basically a movie script. Actually, it looks exactly like a movie script, except they're um, uh, it's divided into panels and pages. And right now, I started doing thumbnails, and I draw a rough sketch in an 8 by 11 paper. Then I blow it up, print it out in a 11 by 17 paper, and then light box it on the final drawing board. Um, so it actually saves a lot of time, and it helps you. It's actually easier to draw in small paper. You can see the perspectives and the proportions. Um, it gives you a better view of everything because your view is not skewed by. I mean, drawing a huge board will actually it depends. Sometimes I screw up the proportions. If you're drawing a whole body, for example, in an 11 by 17 paper, sometimes you don't get the correct proportion as opposed to drawing it in a bond paper. Laying out is the most mentally exhaustive part of drawing a page. it's actually, I watch TV while drawing, right? But I can't understand any of it if I during this process, because I have to think of the angles, I have to think of the plots and script. And I think once you've gotten past this, everything is almost easy. Everything is all about detailing and adding the cross hatching, adding the details, and it's more. It doesn't take that much brain power anymore. So actually, when you draw this thing when you thumbnail, you're actually saving a lot of time, and you'll be over this part of the process much quicker, and the detailing part will just be much easier. So I think I just have I have my drawing, my laying out time by doing thumbnails. Sometimes I forgo thumbnailing because if I were just doing 2 pages, because scanning would take much longer. You have to weigh things out a bit. But yeah, I mean the laying out process is quite exhausting.
When you're doing a new comics project, do you adjust your style specifically for certain projects? Because I've noticed that in High Roads, your style was different. In Superman, your style was a bit more simpler, and when you went to Batman, the style was again more detailed.
Yeah.
Do you really make intentional changes to your style depending on what you're drawing?
Yeah, definitely. Like in Superman, if I were to do Superman again, I'd probably do it the exact same way, because I think it's just how Superman should look. It should be cleaner and should be almost not really cartoony, but it's just definitely not gritty as opposed to Batman. But as for, I think it's just the main difference is just the shading and the cross hatching. Everything else I think is just basically the same. Yeah, so it's basically just the amount of lines I put in and the lighting.
After Silent Dragon, you went back to Marvel and worked on Ultimate Hulk. Is that right? Ultimate Wolverine.
Hulk versus Wolverine.
In this project, you don't have an inker.
Yeah.
Do you adjust how you draw when you know it's not going to be inked?
Actually, during that time, I was drawing exactly as if I were gonna be inked. Though it's probably a bit more careful, because I have to fill in the blacks. But in hindsight, I think it was unnecessary for me to do those exact hatches, because nobody's gonna. I figured I could have drawn it the way I was doing the Secret Invasion covers. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
It's basically it's grayscale stuff. So I think I should have exploited the medium, the pencil medium, instead of just drawing it as if I were gonna get inked. But I think I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I think some people are happy with it too, but I think most fans still like the ink stuff.
After the work on Ultimate Hulk was postponed, you worked on Avengers and you worked on the Secret Invasion, was completely different from how you draw Ultimate Wolverine. Was it difficult now that you're back drawing Ultimate Hulk versus Wolverine? Do you see a difference in your how you draw, or is it difficult coming back to that way of drawing?
Actually, it's scary because I myself can't really tell what's going on, what the changes are, unless you point it out to me. So, I mean, I'm hoping I may be changing, but I'm still developing in a positive way. So eventually, I know I probably like all other artists, eventually decline or something. I don't know. And but actually, it's an unconscious change. Right now, when I'm looking at my Ultimate my older issues from 2 years ago. Yeah, there's a difference actually. Also, I had more time doing those issues. I think one issue was I did it in 2 months, and right now I'm basically doing it monthly. So I'm sure it's probably gonna be noticeable. Probably, I hope not. But so the change is unintentional actually. So I really don't know, and I need somebody else to point it out to me.
Is there any direction in your art that you would want to go, or would you rather just see how it goes?
I really have no conscious objective. I just want to get better drawing women, also all the difficult, all my weaknesses. And
Do you have a dream project?
wow, this has been the hardest question ever. I mean, I've been asked this a few times already because I've been since I broke in. My first project was Wolverine, so that in itself is already a dream project. So it's always hard to. It's like being asked, "What's your dream job?" And I always feel that people are. It's hard to tell them that I already am I'm doing it, my dream job. So that's I'm really happy with where I am right now. So actually, I've been getting all my dream jobs, and actually, Secret Invasion is beyond my expectations. Actually, probably being able to work with other writers, but I don't think it's gonna get bigger than Secret Invasion. But yeah, working with other writers would definitely be.
Is there any project that you would not take?
I wouldn't take.
Let's say if Marvel offered you a 12-issue maxi series, which is like a huge crossover of thousands of characters like
Oh
that.
my goodness.
Would you feel daunted by it? Would you feel
I'd probably depends on when they'll offer it to me. If it's this year, I probably won't take it. But I think and after I get a breather, I can take on anything that they have give me. Yeah, why not?
How could you do it again? I had the time of my life. You said you're here till the end. Now you're just walking away.
here in the Philippines, you're known as a very popular artist for Marvel, DC, and Image, but you're also known for something else. You are part of this musical group or musical solo act. I don't know.
Solo act, no, it's a group.
It's a group called Marty McFly. Can you?
Actually,
You're a composer. You're a guitarist. You're a singer, and you perform. You actually do performance once in a while. So can you tell us anything about this? Why did you go into this?
well, basically, I just like rock music, and my band is comprised of my college mates and people who like the same kinds of music, and it's just something to do on the side, just to relax, and it's not really a serious endeavor, but I'm not really known for it actually. We're not even close to popular. Actually, the band is being the only reason my band is being talked about because I'm the comic book guy. So I'm not really known for that. It's basically just something we enjoy doing. But yeah, it's we're not really we're not really making waves of any kind. So, but hopefully, but we do have some fans. But they're probably a couple hundred of them max.
But as opposed to a lot of other comic book people, especially in the US, who have also bands, I'm sure there are. You guys were able to come up with a CD of your work, and it's been released locally.
Wow.
Do you have plans of pursuing this further?
Oh, we've been together for 10 years now, so whatever the plans are, it's no, not really. No, we're just doing it for fun, actually. Most of us have, all of us actually have day jobs, and most of the couple of, oh, some of them. Well, one guy has already a family, so you can't really pursue this like full time. And besides, we're not really young anymore, and it's not really. It's not an alternative to comics. Definitely, it's I will be keeping my day job, so I won't be quitting my day job. Sorry for my unexciting answer.
But actually, I know a couple of people who are fans of your music, but I'm not really familiar with your comic book work.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's surprising. It's surprising. It's actually, I'm really don't like being like introduced during our gigs. I don't want to be introduced as this comic book guy, blah blah blah. And I really want to be, I want them to like our band because they like how we sound.
Yeah, like when Patrick Stewart is playing like Hamlet at the stage,
Yeah.
he doesn't sign any Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
I think so. So I guess other people feel that way also.
Yeah, it's because you don't want to be like a circus act. You want to be, you're just it's yeah, just want to be known first. You want your music to be like for for the right reasons, not because you're this guy. But you like how I draw. It has nothing to do with how I write songs. It's pride, basically.
How could you do it again? I had the time of my life. You said you're here till the end. Now you're just walking